Good morning, guys. Welcome to our broadcast. A very good morning to each and every one of you. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, good to see Deborah on the live today. Let's hope you're hearing us loud and clear. Good to see Shandell and Dolly and Petal. How are you all folks doing this Tuesday, folks? Well, Wednesday rather. Wednesday, the 30th day of April. It's going by so fast. Wednesday, the 30th day of April. We hope that you all are good. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, you're at home here in Guyana, or perhaps you're in the diaspora, welcome to our broadcast. Great to have all of you joining us this morning. It's always a distinct privilege to be here with you folks, Everett, Claire, and Edward, Deborah. Good to have all of you on the live. And I see Avril as well. Great to have all of you. I'm trying to see if today is the final day of the year, of the month, and it is. You realize it all starts this morning. Eh? It's the final day of the month, the 30th. Tomorrow is May 1, and tomorrow it's a holiday. Tomorrow is Labor Day, folks. Tomorrow is Labor Day. So we're going to watch that. We're not going to have a show tomorrow. Tomorrow is Labor Day. Good, we don't scratch our eyes like this, but for television, for social media, you all know how we do it. But for social media. Good morning, Dolly. Good to have you. Good to have Enid with us. Look, it's good to have something to smile about. There's so much. Jesus. Millicent Ross, good morning to you. There's so much. Father have his mercies. So much. So we can be here till about 9:05, which would give us about 50 minutes or so. 9:10. How are you folks doing? While we were preparing for the show, one of the things that crossed my mind is to just check in with you guys. I don't know about you, Robin Kendall, but I feel like it's been national trauma. This Adriana Young murder, for me, is national trauma. We all need our own grief counseling. And I saw the Ministry of Education extended grief counseling to the students of Porrica Primary School, where Adriana Young attended. But I think we all need some of it. Carlos Allen, good to see you there. Good to see the one and only Carlos Allen. Now, Carlos could verify I went to secondary school, because he was my squaddy, my batchmate. I think right through from Form 1 at Richard Ishmael Secondary, right through to Form 5. So he could attest. I've been to secondary school. He might not be able to give a count for everything after that, but at least for that 4 or 5 years, you can say, yeah, I know this big head fellow. Even what was formerly Indian Educational Trust College, Ibn Ishmael. Carlos Allen. Good to have Christopher Bihari on the live this morning. Gwen Anderson, Mandy, and all the other folks joining us today. Claire Capel, good to have all of you. Clarence Hudson, good morning. So my thought was to check in with you guys. to check in with you. See how y'all, Claire, how you doing this morning? How are you doing? You know, Pinky Carr, Pinky, how are you doing this morning? You know, guy who wrote one of the Psalms. Uh, I tell you, I'm a little off. If I off, a second check in with you. Wrote one of the hymns. He says, "Whatever's my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well." Dolly, Luan, how you doing? My family, Luan Roberts Hall. How are you doing, Luan? I got family who halls too, eh? Euclid Lambert, how are you this morning? So, segment one is check-in with the audience. How y'all doing? Clearlex Chamley Richmond. I saw folks had in the diaspora had their candlelight vigil. I saw Kokwani. I saw Mabaruma. I haven't been to any of those places for the year. I got to start getting out back to checking with our folks in these areas, how they're doing. If we could take this show on the ground, if we had if we had good internet throughout this country, I would do this show from the road, from the ground. But we don't. Folks, we got Starlink now, eh? I've been watching it. We got Starlink. I got my eyes on it. You know, I don't want to invest in anything that you can still got me buffering. But I've been giving it a look. The price a little hot. The price a little hot, Simone. The price a little hot. But I'd rather be out there underground. You know, dodging bullets and tear gas. You don't know how it is. Pinky, how you doing? Pinky says she's going good. Is that what she said? Pinky, is that what you said? It flew past, sorry. Oh, she said, I'm not doing okay. Good thing I circled back to it. She said, all is not well in my beautiful country. Say it again. Millicent says, still crying. I didn't sleep nor eat properly since the death of that princess. Yeah. Auntie Sandra, how you doing? I just checking in. I just checking in this morning. Eric, how you doing? Eric Williams. Andira Paradise. Andira, how you doing? All the other folks, Frank Rice and Grace Noel, Troy Anthony, Isabella Butler. Isabella, how you doing? Folks, let me apologize. I haven't got the time to respond to everybody. I'm talking to you all right now like the anxiousness coming back. I picked this word up from my wife. You know, oftentimes she get anxious and she gotta take a knee sometimes. She gotta take a knee. So how y'all doing? Isabella said, be careful with Starling. Sister Mercy, how you doing? Mark and Julian Ben. How y'all doing? Sudhari, Harmini. How y'all doing? Guyanese Slims, Polly. So much we gotta contend with. But like with everything else in life, right? We gotta keep putting one foot in front of the next. That's how we do it. You know, one foot in front of the next. I'm going down the road, Kitty Kato. When I was a child, I remember listening to the radio. That's the only thing I had to listen to. Listen to the radio and hearing this song used to play. Early in the morning, I think it was. We were getting ready for school. You got a little flambeau light in the house. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, it's all I'm asking of you. Oh my Lord. Yeah, you know, the other time I could have go into that thing. I could have go into the industry. We putting one foot down in front of the next. That's how you gotta live it, you know. One day at a time. Carlos, I know you know this song. As a Christian brother, you know that song. I could have hold all them notes once upon a time. One day at a time. That's how we can do it. You can't take off everything. One day at a time. You know. We gotta see these people come to closure over the death of their daughter, Adriana Young. We gotta see them come to closure. We gotta see, and we need closure as a nation. This is not just the Youngs. This incident, this murder, this heinous, horrific act. And while we condemn looting and burning and injury to people, you know, destruction of private property, public and private property, reprehensible. We denounce all of that. But this thing now is beyond the Young family. As a nation, Lester, Johnny, is it Letty? Letty S26, you got fancy phone girl. Yvette Madu, we got dead. It's not just Sir Brian Young, the father. It's not just Amicia Simon, the mother. But as a nation, we got dead. That's how they say it in the countryside. We got dead. It's our daughter. It's our sister. It's our niece. It's our cousin. It's our parishioner. We got dead. We got come to closure as a nation. And so I hope for the authorities, better sense prevail. And they have to facilitate an international investigation. And as I was coming on, I saw some notes from Telford Lane, who I believe is a qualified psychologist. And one of the things psychologist Lane says, they're trying to gaslight me. Now, the ladies use this phrase a lot. They're trying to gaslight us. Oh, the PPP, they are skilled at this. They are skilled at this. You're seeing things with your own eye. They're trying to tell you you're not seeing what you're seeing. You're not seeing what you're seeing. And that's why I said, we got to get closure. As a nation, Chanel Smith Daniels, Chanel, we got dead. We need closure as a nation on what were all the circumstances that led to this young woman's death by drowning, and the situation surrounding her disappearance. What were all these circumstances? We have to have closure. So that's one thing we got to get through. We get through the autopsy, and you all saw. We got to get through the investigation. An international investigation, don't tell me no regional security system. I ain't want to hear from them. And then we got to get through her interment. We got put with daughter down. We got to get through that. And we can come out on the other side. And we're going to be stronger for it. But we got to go through to come through. We got dead. Yesterday, we tried as much as possible through the morning to give updates how things were looking. Starbuck News perhaps characterized it better than we could, that Georgetown and surrounding regions were brought to a virtual standstill. And that's where I said, this is not about Adriana's family alone now. This is about all of us. And in gaslighting us, the authorities just want to get past this now, Business as usual. Business as usual. Let me make money. I hope when some of y'all dead, they put all your money in a casket and send you down. Put your money in there and send you down. All of it. Your expensive shoes, your watch, everything, carry it with you to the other side. Carry it with you to the other side. We are loving people. We can be a callous people too. Just move on. Just move on. I see some people say, oh, is the grandmother responsible? Jesus mercy. When I spoke with Laura Batson, the neighbor of neighbors, when I spoke with Laura said what a lot of people don't know. I don't know if you may have missed it because this thing has been coming at us fast from all sides. Laura said the reason why they went to the pool is because the grandmother has cancer. And she saw it as a form of therapy. She would take the kids to the pool. And she'd have some relaxation, rejuvenation with the next generation. Enter Adriana Young, 11 years old. Let's spend some time with them. Let's spend some time with them. I see my aunt on the live saying, some persons will have a U-Haul. We won't know about U-Haul so much here, but the Americans know about that. The U-Haul is equivalent to a canter. They can touch on a canter at the back of the horse to carry the assets with them. The fancy pants and the clothes and the shoes and the cutlery and the crockery, pack all inside the canter or the U-Haul. So we are kind people. We can be a bit much enough. Oh, get over it. It's the grandmother. She should have think. All you're so callous. You don't blame the grandmother. You run to Darren now. It's Darren's fault. It's Dr. Caleb McLaughlin. Oh, it's his fault. Right? This young woman disappeared. This is the inconvenient truth. She disappeared. Right? And the people at the hotel lied about it. The people searched the hotel and the pool 5 times. If you get double wall and son, you know to look in there. But you got a bunk and chains and whips and all kinds of stuff. I don't know. But the inconvenient truth, Barnes himself run out and search the pool. The folks who were there said they walked the pool. So there was the grandmother, Carol Jouvert, in her sickness. Right? You see the problem with some of us is that we believe when people are sick, you should just stay in the back room and dead. Stay in the back room out of sight and dead. Don't get sick in this country, Don't get sick in this place. Nobody concerned with you. Top to bottom, don't get sick. So the lady took the kids. They were her therapy. She didn't know It's more trauma in your skin. So we got dead. Yesterday, as Starbuck News characterized it, the whole city brought to a standstill. And we saw that. Traversing the city, we had errands to run. Virtual standstill. Police said they have arrested over 100 persons. Motorbikes seized. Those of you who capitalize on this issue here, capitalize on this issue in the sense of looting and so on. I said it yesterday, I said it again. You done get your reward already. You already got your reward already. That's what I want to tell you. You done got your reward. You got it. People think it's now you won't left them. Left it. People that interfere with you, don't interfere with people. Reckless, reprehensible. We denounce those actions. Speed recovery to all those who might have been harmed in one way or the next. And we saw Adriana's father himself yesterday saying, this is not what my daughter would have wanted. He said that. It's not what my daughter would have wanted.
Everybody who out there who said I love Adriana and want to be there for Adriana. Adriana won't like violence. I tell you the truth from my heart. From my heart, Adriana don't like violence. Adriana is not a violence girl. So if you please love me that you stop the violence. You protest in a normal way, please.
Protest in a normal way. Within the bounds of the law. Within the bounds of the law. Reprehensible, reprehensible. Top to bottom. Top to bottom. I dare say the police got to be very careful. Again, how they're putting out information. I stopped halfway just now. When I talked about the pool and the pool being searched, the police. I don't care what Irfan say. He can't tell me that's a little mistake. Some civilian working with the police. I don't know if that's Mark Rabatar, if it's Stan Gavai, who? Some civilian working with the police, make a mistake. So I guess that's it. It's acceptable then. The police have a duty. Said last night, said again, not to destroy people's reputation. You know, all we see in this country is the headlines. People don't come back to say we're the wrong. Or if they print a retraction, it'll tell on the back of the papers. You can't see it, you can't find it. The headline, cyber crimes, guilt, is something like that. Charge, cyber offenses, terrorism. But people don't come back and say, we're the wrong. So the police force got to be very, very careful. When they're coming to say, make these accusations as well. They have a responsibility too. They have a responsibility as well. So the father says, no violence. No violence. That is not the way to go. Violence is not the way to go. It is not. It is not. But the president downplaying and the government gaslighting us. President could not even speak to Higgins' conduct as Commissioner of Police. Gaslighting us. Thank you, Telford Lane, psychologist. Gaslighting. We're seeing the things. We're not feeling what we're feeling. Adriana father calling for peace. Saw the private sector bodies as well, rightfully so, condemning these acts of violence. We got to go through this. We can't shortcut national trauma. That day when I heard a shout, body in the pool, I said, what? Stunned, shocked. I was in the middle of the harbor bridge. I nearly parked the car. Middle of the harbor bridge going over. Body found it. I almost asked, which pool? The same pool that searched 5 times? Body. And the two things hitting against each other. Left in red ram, body and pool. Left in red ram, body and pool. What a day for the Guyana Police Force. But everyone said that. He said our next government, when you all vote back for us again, we're going to continue the robust changes in the Guyana Police Force. Don't expect anything now. He said it. He said it's an election year. He said when we come back, if these people telling us, the PPP, they have completed their manifesto. My Jesus, what is this manifesto? Misery, suffering, heartache. If you complete your manifesto, how come this country looks and feels the way it does? How come? I'm worried. I'm worried at a national level. Adriana's death is a monumental moment. Don't try to diminish it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Don't try to diminish it. Could you imagine? And Sabbath News says, brought the whole place to standstill. Without direction from Jack, nobody can walk. Nothing functions independently. Airport can't tell you what's happening. Ministry of Education can't tell you what's happening. Everything is a standstill. Nobody ain't talking, just silence, radio silence. Could you imagine if you got 2, 3? God forbid, whatever the issues are, things that arrest this nation in this way. We head into failed state. We head into failed state status. God forbid. God forbid. So the police force can't come around with funny. And the police force can't investigate the police force. We ain't taking that. We ain't buying that. So Mr. Norton yesterday spoke, the leader of the opposition up in North, spoke his mind on the police force's actions, the actions of the PPP as instigators. Don't think we don't know the wickedness you're all doing. Calling for justice for Adriana and our very own Robin Simon. Again, on these bogus charges of inciting something. You just say a word, a phrase, and then you're inciting. You're inciting. Here's some of what Mr. Norton said yesterday. Take it in his words.
Have lost trust and hope in the People's Progressive Party and the Guyana Police Force. That we are involved in protests today is a direct result of the incompetence of the Guyana Police Force. And what is even worse It is a result of the attempt by the Guyana Police Force to cover a crime. Let us recall, it is not the first crime at that venue. Back in 2012, we had a similar situation. We wish to condemn the Guyana Police Force for this incompetence. Now that they have shown they are incompetent, they have proceeded to harass one of the activists of our party, Ms. Robin Simon. We call on the Guyana Police Force to release her. She has committed no crime. You seem to be protecting the criminals and arresting the innocent. She cannot be incarcerated for using a slogan that all and sundry have been using. No justice, no peace. To say that is not a crime. It is a position taken in support of Adriana Young, whose life was snuffed out by wicked and cruel people who are being protected by the Guyana Police Force and the government. Let me say to you, we are all for peaceful protests. We will condone no criminal activities. I had warned before that once street-oriented protests emerged, the PPP was going to utilize the criminals at its disposal and penetrate the protests. But they have not only used the criminals at their disposal, they have also used the 10-day workers. We have video evidence of one of the 10-day workers declaring that he was shot in the groin and nothing happened. It means he was at the scene. But yet you proceed to arrest an innocent woman who has been protesting the injustice done to a child in this country. We urge the Guyana Police Force to pursue the criminals. We urge the People's Progressive Party to stop using criminals and 10-day workers to incite racial conflict so that they can put this issue under the carpet. We demand that the police force deal with the criminals and not become criminals themselves. We saw a video in which the police drove into a group of young men, jamming some of them. That cannot be lawful. There must be better ways for the Guyana Police Force to do their work. And so we condemn those actions, just like how we condemn the illegal actions of those who have been placed in the protest to jeopardize it. We demand the immediate release of Robin Simon, since she has committed no crime, and call on the Guyana Police Force to stop trumping up charges against innocent people while they allow the guilty to go. Let us continue to support the call for justice so that those who would have committed the crimes against this child are brought to justice. We are all for peace, but it must be with justice. Peace cannot be in isolation from justice. Peace cannot be with the present behavior of the Guyana Police Force. We demand professionalism, and once there's a professional approach, we have no doubt there will be peace as we pursue justice.
Yep, that was the leader of the opposition, leader of the PNTR, speaking to these issues yesterday. Folks, peace cannot come without justice. You know, peaceful protests. We must conduct ourselves responsibly, but it cannot come without justice. justice for Adriana Young, justice for all those persons who would have been assaulted. Peace and justice going hand in hand. There's an interesting editorial in today's Tabuk News that talks about the conduct of the Guyana Police Force. Put out a snippet of it today as required reading. Required reading. Again, I like to highlight Tabuk News, Kaicho News. These are the places for valid and credible information. Because, folks, it's not a new nation, it's not, they can't accuse him of being propaganda organs, and even though they try now. It's not the key from the Lines for Change. The Catholic Standard doesn't print anymore, but I think they have an online presence. Tabuk News, Kaicho News. Well, hell no to the Ghana Times. Here what Tabuk News says. Here what Tabuk News says. The PPPC, the People's Progressive Party Civic, governments have been in charge of the police force for 28 of the last 33 years. 28 of the last 33 years. The force's abject performance, this is surrounding the death of Adriana Young and everything since. The force performance directly reflects the failure of the government to professionalize it and to advance it in terms of meritocracy, right? To advance it along that front. Where's not friends, family, and favorite? But promotions, advancements are based on merit. Meritocratically. No comfort, Tabuk News says, in this editorial today. No comfort could be taken from the president's words at the press conference. No comfort. That neither did he have anything new, neither did he have anything new to say about radical reform in the police force. I can tell you what, it was just hot air. If you plug into earphone, we need the gas from Wales is hot air. He had nothing new to say about any radical reforms of the Ghana police force at the Monday night press conference. This type of news. In an election year, the editorial says, the government will not embark on any needed restructuring of the police force. Remember, they finished the manifesto. So they will not embark on any restructuring of the police force. And the PPPC's doctrine of political control over the police force remains firmly in place. Tabuk News ends by saying, this is the hard truth that at-risk citizens will have to absorb. This is the hard truth. They will not professionalize the police force. They will not advance it meritocratically. They will not. But instead of finish the manifesto, when you read this editorial, as I know you will have, you will see they talk about the conduct of the Ghana police force. On the day of that autopsy, day before yesterday. And what a traumatic experience it was for the staff of the Ghana, of the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, those private entities nearby, those citizens who live nearby, because it is the Guyana Police Force that failed to prepare for what they must have known would have been the eventuality when the results were known. Read the editorial in today's Tabak News. They must have known failure of the police to use their intelligence. The editorial talks about their crowd management skills, poor, perhaps absent. And one of the things that the editorial talks about was the use of the TSU, saying that the TSU comes to smash riots. And if you invite the TSU, what do you think is going to happen? They're coming to smash. I saw a lot of instances where the crowd was just crowding. They were doing nothing illegal. Police come and just start firing shots. There was no warning to disperse, to go home. They just come and start firing. And so now, as I said, this is national trauma for all of us now, including the nurses, the doctors, the auxiliary staff at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. That area was a war zone. And the government, as the Sabak News says, who have been in power for 28 of the last 33 years, who you want them is Granger? Is the Granger faction? Is them? Who you going to want to tell us is responsible for that? But they can come to gaslight. Let us end on that note. They're going to come to try to gaslight. As psychologist Mr. Lane told us early on, Telford Lane, they come to gaslight. You're not seeing what you're seeing. Oh, this is a professional police force. Oh, there's nothing wrong with Hickens and Watts and the whole gang, whoever they are. Nothing wrong with everything nice. Nice time. That's what they'll come to tell it. Gaslighting us. Heads in the sand like the proverbial ostrich. Everything nice. Everything nice. You know? Everything nice. We got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. 'Tis the season, folks. 'Tis the season. So a statement, an address. So we switch turns. Masjidin Muhammad last evening, I saw some of the smaller parties issuing a statement. This is the Alliance for Change, the Simona Broom's party, VPAC and ALP and TPM and concerned parliamentarians putting out a joint statement. I think there might be a press conference later on that as well, you know. So lots of things happening. Lots of things happening. And this statement from Mohammed last evening suggesting that he's edging closer to a run. Edging closer. Right? Take a listen. When we come back, we wrap up.
We must stop being distracted by petty divisions and keep our focus on the work that truly matters, building a just, secure, and prosperous Guyana for all. In the days ahead, we will need leadership that does not just react, but restores. Leadership that can bring healing, build trust, and guide us forward with integrity. I am committed to being part of that leadership, not for power, but for progress. Let us reposition ourselves individually and collectively. Let us recommit to fairness, to service, to rebuilding this nation for every citizen, not just the privileged few. And above all, let us hold fast to the belief that Guyana can rise and will rise from this moment stronger, wiser, and more united.
Yeah, so we're looking at that, folks, edging towards. He said, I want to be part of that leadership for a new Guyana, different Guyana from the ones we have. And then, of course, seeing within the last hour, the Alliance for Change, the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity, Vigilant for a New Guyana, VPAC, and other concerned parliamentarians, People's National Movement, and other individuals, civic-minded individuals, talking to this among other issues as well. So we looking at it, folks. So we have more. You're going to know more. We're going to see you guys on the other side of the day. Have a fantastic day. And stay safe. Be vigilant, folks. Be vigilant. Be vigilant. No pun intended. Be vigilant. Thanks for joining our broadcast this morning. Yvette Madu, Mark, Beatrice, Gordon. Good to see you as well. And all the other folks. Simone Greaves, who's on with us. Yvette and Marlene and Jennifer, Sharon. Good morning to you and all the other folks who've joined us this morning in the diaspora, at home here in Ghana. It's been a privilege being with you guys. Have a fantastic day, and we're going to see you guys on the other side. That's our time, folks, and that's our program. Stay safe.